What is going on, everybody? This is Brandon.
And this is Bryce.
Welcome back to Weekly Rabbit, or welcome if this is your first time here. Whether you are a long-term reader, you're taking a step back, or you're a new reader, this is the perfect place for you guys to catch up on your weekly comic books, get to know what we thought about them as we break them down, review them. Also, just like even if you miss a book, right, you want to know what's going on, this is a perfect show for you to stay tuned, stay caught up on your reading. If you guys are in the live chat today, drop us a hello. Let us know what you guys are reading. Boom. We got two people in here right now. We got Travis in here. Good to see you, buddy. Station. What's up, Manny? Manny, you're a little jingly today.
Manny.
Oh, my gosh. Joined here always by Bryce. How you doing, Bryce?
Doing good, man. A little tired, but got a lot of reading done this week, and I actually really enjoyed most of the books that came out this week.
Yeah. This was a bonkers week. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't even get to today, but the stuff that we did check out, we're going to be talking about. I'm excited, right? We're kind of closing things with the gala. We're getting more into DC continuity. So there's a lot of good stuff this week. And as you guys know from the book behind us, that is going to be the main focus of the show, is kind of where DC is going in their continuity today, because that's kind of a question,
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof. It's something that they haven't focused on, that they've kind of kept in the background, but now they are pushing that. And just remember, if you guys are here or you're catching the replay, big shout out to you guys. Let us know what you think of the show in the comments below, or any of the books you read. Remember to hit that thumbs up and give it a like button. You can tap it for us. It really does go a long way. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I was actually on yesterday. I guest appeared on Team Nerd Herds. I came into their group and I did a giveaway. I did a lot of giveaways this week. We did a lot of giveaways with the channel last week. And so packages will be shipped out for all the winners of the Becky Cloonan we did last week, and the ones that I just ran or just gave away on other shows. But, big shout out to everybody in the comic community for being here. Love you guys to death. Let's get into some of these books. I kind of want to start with X-Men. I really want to start with X-Men. So as you guys know, the Hellfire Gala is kind of wrapping up. We have 2 more issues left. I'm going to start by talking about Wolverine number 13, which is by Ben Percy. Art is by Scott Eaton. And this is it. This is where we were at right now. Is Beast and Sage are kind of in trouble for what they were doing with the Terra Verde and kind of trying to colonize them. So as everyone is trying to figure out what's going on with that, the Terra Verde start to resist and start attacking people. So it's up to Wolverine and the people around him to kind of put a peg on that. So that's what we're dealing with, and obviously, like, this is more of a focus. So what the Hellfire Gala was, is it gave you the overall thing. Right, it gave you what is happening overall, but each book is centered in on what these characters are doing at this specific time. So this is more so, fucking Colonial. This is more so what Wolverine is doing and how he is responding to the events that happened in X-Force. Okay, so if you guys don't remember what happened in X-Force, right? Deadpool shows up, but before that, the Terra Verde were kind of resisting. Always trying to colonize and get Ryan to read X-Men. Exactly. We will be getting Ryan to read X-Men. Ryan will be catching the replay for this, because this is not Ryan's show, but you guys can always find Ryan on the Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame segment that we do, which is a lot of fun. And you will be seeing more of Ryan and Chad. I think we're going to do some reviews in the future, trying to add archives into the infrastructure of the show. But Wolverine is really just taking care of business. After the fight with Deadpool, he comes back. We see what Beast is doing. Beast is being a bastard, right? Because he's Beast, and it's the art's great. The art's fine. We see
I really like Scott Easton's art in this.
Yeah, I thought it was very solid. I thought some of the layouts weren't as consistent as they could have been. But we see the Marauder getting taken over, that we are going to be addressing with, I believe, in the Marauders book. We see Domino fighting some Terra Verde people, so everything is just falling apart. And we see Sage and Beast trying to cover everything up. They come to a resolution with the Terra Verde, and Deadpool wants to join the X-Force, but he gets
rejected.
He gets denied. Emma Frost and Beast they share a moment while Emma is in her after party outfit. So her diamond form, this is after the fireworks that revealed in the previous issue, okay, of the previous issue of Planet Size X-Men, which when Emma exits her diamond form, she's basically butt naked, so that's kind of cool. So, whoa, see, when she projected herself into everyone's mind, she has to be out of her diamond form. So she had to be naked when she did that.
Timeout. Flag on the play.
I'm just saying she was naked. What's up, Adam? I mean, you can't argue with me that her being naked is a problem.
I don't know. See, okay. The one thing that bothered me about this issue, and I really like this issue. I haven't been reading Wolverine unless it's been tying into X-Force. But the one thing that bothered me about this issue is that the central conflict of X-Force up to this point. What's up, Kenny? How you doing, man?
Kenny.
The central conflict that's been going on in X-Force up to this point, which has been about Beast and Terra Verde, gets resolved in Wolverine?
Yeah. Because what are they going to do? Wolverine's supposed to be fighting Dracula right now, but he got called back for the gala. Omega Red's taking care of business. Okay. So, anyway. Yeah, so Emma Frost. Yeah, Emma and Beast share a moment. Beast's like, yeah, I'm always going to be a dick because I would rather be a dick than get extinct. So I'm like, okay, Beast, good job. Good for you, bro.
No, fair enough, I guess.
Yeah, and then we get the big monologue from Deadpool, which is a cool little style.
Hilarious. If you normally don't read like the quotes or the like stuff on the last page of the books,
well, you have to
read that one.
And you have to. Oh, but I do want to talk about something that came in the mail.
Oh, good Lord.
It's so pretty. Look at it, guys. It's so pretty.
Looks great for being a 0.5. How's the back look? Is everything's there and
not really.
Well, I mean, okay, yeah, there's some stuff cut out and
the incomplete, missing pages, and there's like a bunch of added staples to keep it together.
That book's been through it.
Yeah, I know. It's been through than me. It's been through left more than I have. It's been handled a lot, and but
the
nonetheless,
devil's been through hell.
Yeah, that book went to hell and back. But I am thank you, Kenny, so much. But I'm very grateful to add that to the PC.
Seriously.
All right, and Bryce, you were talking about Wave X because we were kind of talking about behind stage. What did you think about this one?
Well, there's actually, if we're going to go in the reading order, there's one that came before.
Oh, sorry. So if we're doing the reading order, okay, sorry. Which is by...
I'm just going to go ahead and say this is co-pick of the week for me.
Oh, right, because we are doing that. We are going to do picks of the week. But after we talk about X-Men, we're going to do picks of the week. That's what I was forgetting.
Yeah, we're trying out something new tonight, so just bear with us.
Bear with us. We're doing a lot of house cleaning with this show, trying to make it as best as it can be. But anyway, right, this is still taking place after the fireworks, okay? Yep. So a lot of what you're seeing right now in the gala, after the fireworks, Captain America and Doom share this moment because they're like, yeah, how do you feel about that? What do you think? Like, the mutants are taking over. He's like, yeah, we kind of team up now. Like, we're scared of these motherfuckers.
Characters to have a moment. Captain America and Dr. Doom.
Right.
Like, that's just...
I mean, it's Doom. We've been seeing Doom everywhere.
Now, what's cool about this is you get a little something before they have that moment. Is you see... does he go by Guardian or Vindicator?
That's Vindicator.
Okay, that is Vindicator. I don't know my Alpha Flight all that much, so I'm still learning. But
or is that North Star? No, it's not North Star. It's Vindicator.
No.
I don't know my Alpha Flight. I'm not that knowledgeable about Alpha Flight.
We see Vindicator kind of getting recruited to Orcus in a sense, which it's a small moment, but I don't know why I feel like that could come back up later.
I mean, yeah, with Hickman and Al Ewing, you never know. You never really know. You really don't. But Doom exits. So Doom and Cap, they have their moment. Doom exits, right? And then we see where he goes after, but we're kind of this is also by Valeria Skitty's doing the artwork. Al Ewing is doing the story. We're seeing what Abigail Brandt is doing on the Sword Station. So they had to build a sister station. Yo, keep it comic C3 on deck. What's going on, bro? Good to see you in here, brother.
But yeah, so we see them on deck, and they're on deck on the
well, on the deck. I mean, they're
on the deck of the Sword.
They're at a meeting. They're like in a space operated office meeting, talking about why Abigail Brand never consulted them. When we got my boy Steve Hip Hops and me _comics _collectibles. Wow, I don't know how you say it 7 times really fast, but big shout out to Team Nerdherd for their amazing live stream last night. If you guys did not catch it, make sure y'all go follow them. Right, they're over 1K now. Amazing accomplishment, amazing group of people. So big shout out to the fam over at Team Nerdherd, guys. I cannot tell y'all to go over there enough. That they're great people, family, 100%. Good friends of the kingdom. We got the vet. What is going on, brother? Hope you are doing well. Yeah, I don't know. Hip Hops and me _comics _collectibles. You're whatever the hell. Whatever. Yeah, dude, you're like the longest name on Instagram and everything else. It's like supercalifragilistic is like no match for you, I guess.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so we see kind of like a galactic board of governors in a sense.
Yeah, so we have all of that, Abigail is very much like, yeah, I didn't need to tell you guys we were birthing Araco. She was like we were planning it, but we didn't need to tell you. And Nova is very ticked off because he is Earth's representative. So he's like, yeah, why didn't you consult me? And she's like, well, and everyone's like, well, where were you when Null invaded it? And he was like, I was saving other people. And Abigail was like, yeah, so that's why.
Which is funny that Nova is Earth's representative when you also have a Wakandan there. Yeah,
but see, because Wakanda is so technologically, that's a big word right there, advanced. I feel like you had Doom come in as well. So it's like,
yeah,
I guess it's like Earth and your cosmic person, and then your other people who are able to operate on an intergalactic level, because I guess Wakanda can.
Which you bring up Doom, he wasn't exactly invited to this.
Yeah, Doom wasn't invited, and he was pissed. He's like, yeah, why wasn't I invited? He's like, you guys should have consulted me. So Doom is like kind of pissed. A bunch of these ambassadors are already like kind of pissed, and Abigail's like, yeah, no, sorry, we had to build a sister station to support Araco. And she's like, would you rather it take over Earth? No. So Manifold and Kid Wiz, or Wiz Kid, 100% Manny. Boom, 100%.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, and shout out Sparks. What is going on, Sparks? Sparks Station.
The fact that this is Valeria Scheide's last issue on this book, at least for a while.
Right.
And just it breaks my heart, but oh man.
Right. So we're dealing with all of this, and we're dealing with like what they're planning to come next. We introduced Mysterium, which is kind of like a new way, which contains a portal, I guess, to the capital of Araco. And it's basically saying, hey guys, this is Araco. It's live. If you don't like it, you can deal with it, and without causing a war, because Araco is full of mutants that are way more powerful than us. So if you don't want to deal with us, deal with them and get killed. So
yeah. Which I like that they're bringing back the Mysterium and really getting back to what this book is supposed to be about, because we haven't seen that since issue 1, and all these events started getting tied in, like Kingdom Black and everything else.
And and then we're still dealing with stuff from Empire, which is like Al Ewing is completely like taking control of the cosmic universe. So like he's embedding X-Men stuff while using it to launch and push his Guardians, which I have a feeling is also going to tie into his Venom, considering how Venom is in space. And we're bringing back the Ultimate
Universe.
Yeah, it's the Al Ewing Cosmic Universe at this point. And
which reminds me, I got to go back and read Empire then.
Right, so you kind of do. And you also have to understand that the Ultimate Universe is coming back into play, which probably won't be a big deal right now. Maybe in the fall they're going to address it more, because Abigail will have to deal with it ever so briefly. But I love what Abigail's like, yeah, so Any questions? This is with the planet Araco. And then Doom comes in. He's like, yeah, who gives a shit? He's like, who
Pretty
gives a
much.
shit? He's like, why should I care? And shit. And everyone's just like, everyone is so silent. I loved it. I loved it.
Al
and then
Ewing's making me a Doctor Doom fan. I wasn't that big of a because I never read anything on him. I was never a big Doom fan before.
I love when Doom is done right, because lately in comics, Doom, or like before, like his little month of we're gonna use him everywhere, but so perfectly, it was okay. Yeah, let's not use Doom well, other than the series that Christopher Cantwell did with Seven Laraka, which was great. It was Eisner nominated. If you guys haven't read it, go buy the trades or read it on your digital tablets or phones, whatever.
It was a short run. Wasn't
it was short. It was short, but it was definitely good. It was a good character study, and it was a great way to involve Doom in a way that made another villain look even worse than him. You kind of like Doom in that, but you have Doom in here. He's like asking, yeah, I'm speaking to someone. Who can I speak to? Who is the king of this bitch? And Storm just comes out. She's like, yeah, it's me. Asshole.
You know who I am.
She's like, yeah, but I need no introduction. My name is Storm. And that was so badass when she comes in.
Gosh, and oh man, the artwork on that page.
Yeah, the artwork was
the flow of it all.
Right. The whole flow, the whole sequence of these events are done so methodically, so well. The layouts are beautiful. The colors by Marte Gracia are fantastic. Yep. Like this is Al Ewing at his best, or we think is at his best. You never know what can come. But,
oh yeah, for sure. And honestly, if someone were to ask me what is the most underrated book in Marvel right now,
it's Sword, probably.
This would be one of, if not the first books that I mentioned.
Oh, Sword has been fantastic. I know I've been very difficult on it because of the tie-ins, but think about Al Ewing is doing with it. It's just fantastic because he's able to extend his narrative while still tying it into Marvel. Like this book is bringing together the Marvel universe. This book is what's connecting the dots with everything. So then we flash. Yeah, go for it.
Even the tie-ins were some of the stronger tie-ins that I read to at least Kingdom Black.
Right, 100%.
Like the whole Manifold issue where it was just him. That's one of my favorite issues that I've read in a while. Probably my personal favorite issue of the series so far until this one.
Right. And then we also get answers to where has Scarlet Witch been, because we did see her in the Empire tie-in to X-Men, but she's also been not so warmly welcomed or treated on Krakoa because of the whole Crucible situation, which is due to the events of House of M. Also, make sure y'all go read House of M because that's another great book. It's very important. And Wanda comes in and she's basically welcomed back by Eric. And Eric is basically saying, we're going to fix this. You're going to be here with me. And I love how she referred to him as Magus. Kind of a good callback to the 90s and when he was that. But I really enjoyed it, and they share a moment, and they will be making everything right. So that way the whole Magneto family can be complete, and maybe that will have something to do with the trial of Magneto.
Maybe.
I think that's what's kind of setting up. You're gonna see this pop up. This is not gonna go unnoticed. The people are gonna be talking about this in X-Men. The fact that Wanda's back, there's something else that they had to deal with. So much is going on in X-Men right now, you guys, which is fantastic. Now, I know I've been talking a lot about it, which I wanted Bryce to talk about Way of X because I know he's been really enjoying Nightcrawler. So, Bryce, how would you talk about that for a little bit?
For sure. And yeah, Sword is probably my
What's going on, Bobby?
favorite X book. It was X-Force for a while, but Sword has since overtaken that. Way of X is close. Way of X is super close, and just because I like how it's been a character study of Nightcrawler. Where all these other X books are super grand in scope or very team-oriented, this is a character study at heart. And so we found out last issue that, you have the Patchwork Man that has since been revealed to be Onslaught. And Kurt's not sitting well with that information at the gala.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to ruin anybody's evening by telling them, and he doesn't know who he can trust.
So what does he do?
He gets hammered.
He gets
hilarious.
This man gets stupid drunk. Oh my gosh. We've all been there, but Bryce,
I have not been there, but
Oh my gosh, this man was stupid drunk.
to the point, and it's hilarious too that we're going like we see Kurt's drunk point of view throughout the different moments of these other books that we've read.
Right, because we've seen him being drunk. Like what was in Excalibur when he's like trying to flirt with Megan and he's like, that was hilarious.
Now we see the POV, and we even see Kurt like sitting passed out in front of a tree during Magneto and Scarlet Witch's moment from
It was
Sword.
so funny. it was so funny.
Oh my gosh. And then he wakes up, he's super hungover, and now it's time to talk about sex, I guess.
Yep, he talks about sex.
There's a lot of talk about mutant sex in this issue.
Yep, you gotta love it.
But it was handled so well.
I mean, yeah, because Cy Spurrier's a great writer. By the way, you guys, this is by Cy Spurrier and Bob Quinn is doing the art. But man, Nightcrawler, drunk Nightcrawler, hungover Nightcrawler. I guess a hangover isn't what you usually see on Krakoa, so I guess it doesn't bother them as much. But
but Nightcrawler, I guess he took it to the extreme.
Oh, but Mastermind gets his little dance with Dazzler, so I was like, lucky.
Mastermind or Dr. Nemesis?
Dr. Nemesis, sorry. Dr. Nemesis.
Yeah,
Dr. Nemesis.
But yeah, so we see Legion kind of coming into his own in Krakoa a little bit more, getting more involved in the lives of the Krakoan mutants. And so that's a major subplot of this book too, is it's also sort of a Legion character study in a sense.
Right.
Which I really enjoy, especially not knowing hardly anything about Legion before picking this up. And so we see him helping a couple of mutants get intimate with each other.
Yeah. Cool.
But there's a reason for that, and it's kind of a selfish reason.
Right.
And so we see Nightcrawler getting bump into Stacy X, whoever that is. I've never heard of her.
That character was not... That did not ring a bell when I first read her. I'm like, wait, she was in something. I just couldn't put my finger on it.
Why does she look like Mindy Kaling?
I probably guess she is.
But yeah, so we basically see she's kind of come up with this mutant brothel of sorts, even though she hates it being called that.
Yeah, it
very much was reminiscent of Saga.
Yes.
But, you go up a little bit more, and it's a nursery, which is really sweet. And we see Lost, who's been another major character in this book. We see how this is where she is supposed to fit in to Krakoa.
100%.
And I love that they finally giving her a place. Right. We find out some more about her, how she's originally from New Orleans. Her name's Marinette. Somebody hurt her. We don't know anything about that yet, but we're slowly getting this character unraveled.
Right, and we're also getting more stuff with Onslaught as well in here.
Which, yeah, so come to find out, that was Legion's reason for helping these people get intimate, was because, well, one, he kind of wanted to help them.
Well, because he's a horny bastard.
Yeah. But then he notices something, and he's like, all right, we're going in.
So she said.
And he goes in these people's minds, and Onslaught is in there.
Right. So he's like, yeah, we're doing this. But
and then it's like, yep, all right, he's coming out of here.
Yep.
And so then Onslaught ends up crashing the nursery. That's how you know he's a bad dude. If he's crashing a nursery.
Right.
Come on now. And so basically they drive Onslaught out. And then we get this nice little epilogue moment at the end where Stacy X is telling everybody how they need to, not be afraid to try new things. And we see that shown with Dr. Nemesis dancing with Dazzler, even though he has a severe disdain for Dazzler, or had one up to this point.
Right.
So I thought it was a really good issue. I thought it was a really fun book. Started off really funny, got pretty interesting, but overall, I don't.
It got weird.
It got weird in the coolest ways possible, though. Like you get some really cool psychological stuff in there, and
it was weird. It was very psychological. It was very much what you would expect from a Nightcrawler book, right? Because Nightcrawler is going to obviously deal with a lot of these questions, like philosophical things you got to ask yourself. But it was just weird, and it's supposed to like lead into Onslaught, which X-Men has been great right now. So I am excited for what they are doing with Inferno with Onslaught. We're going on to a book that we did a giveaway for. We did a book giveaway for Wonder Woman last week. Let's talk about Wonder Woman 774. It's by Becky Cloonan and Michael Connor. This is very much setting the stage for where we left off in the previous issue, which was we saw Olympus getting destroyed, and Diana, not Dinah. Why did I say Dinah?
It's both DC.
Yeah.
Also, this book has basically been Mythology 101 so far. So if you've wanted to learn about mythology and you're a fan of DC Comics, here you go.
Exactly. This is a very mythological book. 100%. It's very much based off of the Greek mythology and that whole system, which obviously now all the gods are dead in Olympus because it got burned to a crisp where we think all of them are burned down. So Ratatosk we figure out what Ratatosk was doing the whole damn time. Ratatosk is really just a little bastard.
And mischievous douchebag.
Yeah, he basically put Diana on Asgard even while knowing that Olympus was burning. So we're dealing with stuff in the afterlife where Diana is like kind of half person. I'll stay if we don't talk.
We just finished talking about X-Men. We did that first.
We did X-Men first, and what's up, chat, though? Team Nerdy, congratulations on getting James Tynan. Thank you so much. Oh, yeah, that did happen today. Tynan will be on the show in August. August. Probably late August.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Probably the hottest writer in comics right now.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. I don't know. It's weird because like I've met him and we've talked before. Like I don't know. It's like it's cool. It's really cool. I'm excited. But I'm really excited. Like I know I don't sound excited, but to me it's like when I'm interviewing a lot of creators, I'm like, yeah, we're just talking, you know, like.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's ultimately what you're doing is you're having a conversation,
right? And you guys just watch me have a conversation. But if you guys do like those interviews, make sure you guys go check out the playlist that we have, Creators Corner, which has the list of everything that we've done, which has been fantastic so far, and it's going to be continuing nonstop.
Keep watching them have conversations, you creeps.
Yeah, come on now. What are you guys doing with your lives? Eat, sleep, and watch ComixKings. Like, duh. And Team Nerd Herd, you know, because they're cool too. But so anyway, we're dealing with stuff in the afterlife, and her split person in the afterlife is the one who's been like causing hell, and we're really just like seeing this dead god, and they're trying to figure out information through Diana using the lasso of truth, which is really a snake, and we're just like we're resolving a lot of what we see. We're setting up this world of Olympus that is destroyed. So that's really what this issue is all about. The art is by I kind of want to say. It's by Andy McDonald.
Not Travis Moore,
but it's by Andy McDonald. Okay, which he
did a good job. He did a pretty good job.
Yeah, it was very clean. You know, we also got some more Dead Man moments that we've been seeing. So this is definitely a great book. This is still part of the arc. Deadman is basically acting as her guide in this story, like through Olympus, because she knows where she is. She doesn't understand like how to communicate with people and bring them back, where Deadman has that luxury, and they're good friends at this point. So where we are left off is she's dealing with the Keeper of the Graves, who looks like the Plague, which is the Plague. It looks like someone with the Plague's mask. Yeah. Or if you guys ever read Coffin Bound, it's very reminiscent of that as well.
Which, if the design of that character is any indication, I really hope the next few issues, or the next issue at least, goes down a horror route.
Oh, it probably will, knowing Becky and Michael, which they are very good friends of the show. They've been on the show twice already, and with further collaborations in the future. So big shout out to them. for this book. Yeah, this book is fantastic. It's an 8-issue arc. So it's so definitely, like, if you guys are trade waiting it, pick up that trade, pre-order it, or contact your LCS, see if they can get you these issues, because they probably can, or they should be around.
Sure. 770 might be a little harder to get at this point. I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, 770, of course, but you should be able to find everything else.
Yeah, no doubt.
But yeah, that's Wonder Woman. It is a fantastic book. Make sure you guys. I would have never thought that. Hey, I would still be reading Wonder Woman at this point. This is definitely a great book for people who want to get into Wonder Woman. Infinite Frontier at this point is really, if you want to get into some of these characters, do it. Except for Batman, because that's the only book that has been a continuation of where they left off.
But I mean, if you know that Batman's broke, you could easily jump into Detective Comics, which
Detective
unfortunately
not that good this week.
Huh? You didn't like it?
I did not like the Batman books this week. Or let me rephrase it. I disliked them both for different reasons.
How many Batman books? Okay, so you have Reptilian and Detective.
Jack says, so I've been off DC for you. All right, so let's just dive into it. All right,
involved the return of everything.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let's actually talk about Infinite Frontier, because this is the event. It's weird because they're not treating it like an event. They're calling it a mini series. So they're like, this is your explanation. That's what I'm gonna say. This is your explanation of where we are as an industry and where we're going to be as our timeline progresses. Right. So a lot of times in DC relaunches, DC events, they're like, this is our plan. We're sticking to it. If you don't like it, screw you. This is our plan.
Yeah.
Right. Or this is our plan for 2 years. No, we don't have anything in the bag. But because the person who was making those plans is no longer there, right, they had to spin it into something that was called Infinite Frontier, because you can't steer a ship without a captain.
Yeah.
So after DiDio got fired, right, they had to shift gears. Okay. Which is where Future State came into place, and the ending for Death Metal was already drawn at that time. Which Death Metal introduced the Omniverse. It introduced the Omniverse, which is there are infinite multiverses, which is very important in this book, written by Joshua Williamson and art by Zermanico. Okay.
Which one thing I will say that this feels like, to kind of make a Marvel analogy. You know how you had Absolute Carnage, which was the event miniseries that led into Kingdom Black? That's what this feels like. It feels like this is leading up to a crisis event.
They're paving the way. They're like, this is what we're doing after everything is already coming out, right?
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, we don't care at this point. Here are your stories. Boom. Here you go. All at once. Right? Here's your Superman, your Batman, your Wonder Woman. This is where everyone is. Oh, and now we're going to deal with this. So as you can see in this cover, right, Darkseid is holding one of the Earths, which, it's like, okay, cool. It's an Earth. We have 1,500 of them now. Who gives a shit? But, so we're dealing with a different multiversal theory. So we see Thomas Wayne getting shot in his little Kryptonian Superman-esque way, crashing on a different Earth, Smallville, as you want to put it. It wasn't a Smallville, but I'm saying it's Smallville because it's the same goddamn thing. I'm like, come on.
Earth 23.
You couldn't have thought of anything better to do. Oh, boom. Here you go. Thomas Wayne.
Which I thought it was cool seeing him after all these years. Like, it was a fun.
But he was in Batman. He was in Tom King's Batman.
Oh, well, I didn't read that.
Well, yeah, he was in Tom King's Batman, and he was also part of Death Metal, which
it was cool for me to see him after a while because
I'm just like, oh yeah.
I was very picky with my comics for a few years. I wasn't reading Tom King's Batman, and I thought the Batman Who Laughs was a stupid character.
And you were wrong.
I probably was, and I will go back and reread.
He got
Metal and Death Metal.
He became stupid. He became very stupid. But we're seeing like a lot of these citizens like put on their Twitters. So they're like asking stuff about the multiverse that we're all asking. They're like, so what's going on, you guys? What is going on, you guys? What's going on? We got a bunch of people coming in the chat. Remember, hit that thumbs up.
Magneto's in this book?
Oh yeah, it's Magneto. But okay, so that's Magneto. He's obviously stopped by Alan Scott and Hawkgirl. We're getting a little bit of everything, you know. We got Talia al Ghul and Lex Luthor that are like they're there. Mr. Terrific is there.
Vandal Savage.
I'm like, yeah, shouldn't he have a bigger role? Yo, we got the low grades. What's going on, y'all? What's going on the low grades. So
I'll just go ahead and say, while I did love this book,
I didn't love it.
Some of the stuff like that, like the knockoff Magneto and Vandal Savage just kind of being there was like,
I'm like, get away. I was like, go away, stop it. I don't care.
I'm like, what's going on? But
yeah.
Anyway, yeah, continue.
Yeah, come on, bro. Yeah, Batman Who Laughs is awesome. Honestly, I think Batman Who Laughs' best time was in Snyder's Justice League Volume 2, like the complete collection Volume 2, where he outsmarts the Justice League. Great read. Go read it.
And I heard the original metal event was really good too.
Great.
Low
the
grade.
original metal. But so Alan Scott goes to meet with his family because he's like, yeah, I came out. You know, do you guys care? Like, yeah, no, we don't care. You know? We don't care. So we're not dealing with that, which I'm kind of glad it's like, yeah, cool. He's out. He's gay. Let's
as readers, we really don't care much either.
Is it cool to have more representation? Yeah, but I don't want it to dwell in a book like this. So
no,
of course we get a flashback to what's going on, how like it erased reality, but it brought in the multiverse, the Omniverse. So they're different multiverse. So each Earth is tying in, like stuff can happen in each Earth, which is a scapegoat. If something doesn't sell, it goes to that Earth, right? It's a scapegoat, but it's also a very like, oh, something really bad can happen.
Which, hey, at least they're being honest about it at this point.
Yeah, at least they're being honest at this point. So, Alan is with his son, but he wants to be with his daughter, who is on vacation, with Professor Bones. So they're talking, and then we go and see where Thomas Wayne ends up because he fades, and he's with the Justice League, so he's like Roger Rabbit. Or
Captain Carrot.
Yeah, Roger Rabbit. Like I said, Captain
Roger Rabbit.
Captain Carrot and that Justice League, which I'm like, we have Aquawoman, who I kind of thought was pretty badass. But Thomas Wayne said, yeah, there's only one person who can fix this. He's like, where's President Superman? And he's there, which is Calvin, which he's a cool character, you know. Obviously, we're gonna see him in Ta-Nehisi Coates' movie that he is doing with J.J. Abrams. We're gonna see that, which
now cool. Are we sure it's gonna be President Superman though, and not Kal-El?
I'm almost 100% positive it's gonna be President Superman.
I hope
it's Ta-Nehisi Coates. Let's be real, people. But
well, no, I'm saying because so nowadays people just like to race swap characters.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other discussion. I hope they don't race swap Kal-El. Because there already is, you know.
Yeah.
Calvin.
Right.
Calvin Dorel.
So you're right. Calvin? So yeah, Calvin is Calvin. So dealing with all this, Thomas tells Calvin, yeah, we need Barry Allen. He's like, yeah, which one? Well, the one on Earth, Earth Prime, Earth Zero. Go big.
Christian Leitner, my guy. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with
you. You just want to piss him.
I'm just messing with him.
Bro. This is my boy Ross panel surfing.
Yes. Dude, that guy's awesome.
I love Ross. Ross is the homie, bro. He was on Team Nerds last night.
I'm just messing with Jack though. Because Duke and Kentucky both sucked last year. I mean,
you don't want to give us you don't want us to get a thumbs down, bro. But anyway, so Barry is kind of running through the different Earths, and we're kind of just like seeing clips of things that are kind of happening, I guess. Which I think is, I don't know. I just find it to be very. I don't care. I have a very hard time caring about where they're going. So Barry goes to Earth Omega.
Book, like Barry Allen multiversal or like omniversal travels. Like I'd be cool with that. Like he's on a different every issue.
Yeah, but where we're going, it's just like it's stupid. I think it's very stupid. I don't know. So we have the quintessence. We're on Earth Omega, and Barry's like, "Oh, there's a crime scene. I know what to do." Oh, wait, it's the quintessence. And somebody comes back from Jeff Johnson's Flash Rebirth. And he's like, yeah, dude, we have to work together. And I'm mad when you came back. You didn't come find me, and it is a Psycho Pirate.
Psycho Pirate.
So I thought that was very cool. Which obviously, like his costume was very alluding to
Dr. Fate.
That DD book. I know, bro. I know. I was so stoked. Which I will tell that story somewhere in the live today. But
yeah, and how he screamed when he found out and hurt my ears.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I told everyone. I screamed like a little girl. I will make no bones about it. I won it for $60. $60. I won the Grail that I thought I'd be too broke to in the real world to actually buy.
Hey, now you know what you got to. Now you know what you can do, right?
Oh, not gift it to you.
No. Shoot, I'll save up for like a 3.
Exactly, dude. Grown men cry. Grown men scream like little girls when we get our comic
No,
books.
you can.
It happens.
You can you can sell that and then upgrade to one that.
Right. So anyway,
eventually, you know, you're there. You're there.
Talk about the book.
Okay.
So Barry needs help. So I'm like, oh, someone. You need to find someone. But it's Roy Harper. And we see where Roy is, and he's just having a good time. Like, I'm back from the dead, just chilling, guys. And
first thing you're gonna do when you come back from the dead, let's go have some coffee.
I mean, I would fucking do it, but I mean,
fair enough.
I don't think a little girl kid that I know is that a challenge.
Challenge accepted, in the words of Barney Stinson.
Okay, so this group comes for Roy, and they are trying to capture him, kind of in like the same outfit that we saw Psycho Pirate in. It's different, but the coloring is very similar. The costume is very similar. So anyway, Roy stumbles upon a Black Lantern ring, which was cool, I guess. I don't care. This is honestly, this reads like DC had nowhere to go. So they said, hey, Jeff Johns, do you ever have a plan in your encyclopedia of knowledge that you never got a chance to use? He's like, here's something, go for it. He's like, yeah, it's a Darkseid story that I scrapped for the one that I told. So we know that Darkseid is coming, and we know that Roy Harper's there, and like, yeah, and like different aspects of Roy, like his past lives, were like in the back, like enshadowed. I don't know. I don't like the treatment of Roy Harper. I don't like their treatment of Roy Harper. I
always joke that the reason Dick Grayson, Wally West, and Roy Harper are all three like best friends is because the writers all treat them like crap.
No, not the writer. Dan DiDio. Dan DiDio. Get it right. It was Dan DiDio.
Okay, Dan DiDio. The publisher DC Comics treats them like crap.
I don't think Roy Harper should be doing this. I really don't. I don't think he should be a Black Lantern. I don't think that it's... I don't know.
It fits the Black Lantern sort of lore where...
Hey, 100% Ross. Hit me up, bro. Hit me up. We'll collab, bro.
Hey, appreciate you joining and watching for a little bit, man. Enjoy your dinner.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy the wife, too. Most important.
Back to Way of X.
Or back to Infinite Frontier. So the timeline is we have an Omniverse. So is there really any substantial timeline? No, not really. And we're gonna do things with our characters that is not undoing what DiDio did, but trying to go further with these characters. But it's like it feels wrong. It feels wrong. Right? It feels wrong for Barry to be the one doing all of this. It feels wrong for Roy to be the Black Lantern, you know? I don't know.
It's like so because he came back from the dead, and that's the whole Black Lantern thing.
Exactly. DiDio had it out for sidekicks, you know? But, I mean, this is very much setting up. This is what we're going to need to do to defeat Darkseid and to save the Omniverse from extinction of Darkseid, who killed the Quintessence in the Infinite Frontier one-shot. Yeah. So... it's what it's doing. It's solving one thing, but paving the way for what's yet to come in a way that is also expanding some of these characters' roles that I don't want. So I'm like, no. It was handled I don't think this was well thought out. I thought it was like, we have to address this. So it's like they're outspokenly addressing, yeah, this is what we're doing. multiversal now. Deal with
Yeah,
it.
I mean,
And I'm like, I don't care.
I don't know. I thought it presented some really fresh ideas. It wasn't perfect by any means, but I don't know. I thought it went in a different direction that I don't want to say was needed, but I welcome it regardless. And I don't know. I'm interested to see how it plays out. Now, by the end of the 6 issues, my opinion could be completely changed, and I could be like, this could turn into one of my least favorite books that DC's ever
real
put out.
fast. This could turn into it real fast.
This could turn into a dumpster fire. But as a first issue, what it's setting up, what it's appearing to lead to, I really liked it.
And yeah, it's really all set up, you guys. I just have a hard time buying it, because DC events have in the past, in the recent past, not played out well. Now I understand they're under a different guide, they're under a different captain or a different helm, if you will. But it's still, to me, it feels very much rushed and not thought out. Like when you're dealing with you're dealing with something that could affect the Omniverse. Meanwhile, like a bunch of these other titles are completely unaffected, right?
For sure.
Like if this is where DC is going, you can't use anything Bendis is doing because he's torturing them on Justice League, right? You have Diana, who is doing her own thing. Superman is doing his own thing. Teen Titans Academy is doing their own thing. Nightwing's doing his own thing. Batman you can't touch him. Right? Aquaman is completely MIA. Hal Jordan is completely MIA. You think you'd want to see Hal Jordan in this book. But no, we see him in an Elseworld story.
And maybe Hal Jordan will be in this book eventually, or one of the Green Lanterns.
And an Arsenal, right? We're kind of getting a glimpse what Barry will be doing in the Speed Force, and that is traveling between Earths. Which I'm like,
if you're going to bring back Roy and make him this large of a character, where Oliver should not be playing backup right now,
right?
Oliver I don't think playing backup in the Flash.
I don't think Roy should have gotten that level of treatment. Like I would have wanted him to come back in more so of a way where he can help out as Arsenal, right? That would have been much more, I think, comedic, and he's very smart, so I think that would be much better if he was able to help out still as the same Roy Harper and dealing with it. Not let's make him the Black Lantern, which was a whole thing in death metal. The Black Lantern was a whole thing in death metal. It's a whole thing in Justice League Last Ride right now, and it was a whole thing in Jeff Johns' Green Lantern. So I'm like,
yeah,
I feel like this is going to get overused because it can also, right? Because Darkseid is the most powerful person. This could be, we need something more powerful than Darkseid. So let's say you're all of this in the Black Lantern. It feels very much like we've seen it before. It feels like we've seen it before, but on a more of an omniversal way. I don't know. And Darkseid is obviously the only villain they can use because he lives out of DC continuity.
Yeah. But so when you've been around for 80 plus years as a publisher, you kind of start to run out of things, and you kind of have to take ideas that you've already had and try your best to put a new spin on them.
Yeah, but this is none of them. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a little hard on this book, but to me, I thought it was a dud. I thought this book was a hard dud. And I like Joshua Williamson.
How you feel about the book? Yeah, I mean that's.
I love Joshua Williamson, but I don't think that this writing was geared in a way that was like, let's bring a team together. Boom. No, it was like, yeah, they're all gonna meet eventually.
Yeah,
they're all gonna meet eventually.
Williamson is very much a character writer.
Oh yeah, guys.
One thing I will say is that I think he may have been trying too hard to be Jeff Johns a little bit.
Right. I was like, you can't. He didn't build it in a way that was thoughtful and was easier to follow. Like, obviously, you have to read death metal in order to read this. I'm not going to tell you read this without reading death metal, because you have to understand. I mean, you have to understand what is going on a multiversal level or omniversal level. And you can do whatever the hell you want because they're different multiverses. We know that there are different Earths, but now you have different multiverses. So now all of these different Earths are going to be affected by Darkseid. All these different multiverses are going to be affected by Darkseid. So no, I'm out. It's like One Direction meeting Queen. It's like, oh my gosh, there you are, different. I don't know. I thought it was.
So, I mean, are
I
you
thought it
going to
was
be
done.
picking up issue 2? Like, are
Yeah.
you going to be finishing the series?
I mean, I'm gonna finish it. I'm gonna finish it because it'll affect what they're doing next. So I have to read it, you know.
Fair.
But yeah.
But anyway,
this is where continuity's going. It's just like it's like continuing the continuity from Death Metal, but they're gearing it towards their next story with Darkseid. That's really it. Jack says, I thought DC was going to create an Earth in the multiverse where all the continuity starting in the late 1930s is still alive. However, the universe froze in the years of villains. They're aged a little differently. So
yeah, didn't they say that their universe ages differently?
Yeah. So when it comes to aging, 5G, which is what we kind of should have been in with the Dio, was supposed to lock characters in a specific setting. Now, different multiverses age differently, so I'm going based off Earth Prime. Earth Prime or Earth Zero ages the same way you and I age. Earth 23, not so much.
No.
Okay, if they have a slower aging. So when you're dealing with, okay, we froze Earth. We froze what was learned in Christ on Infinite Earths, which there are infinite Earths, right? They're infinite Earths, and they could all be affected in a similar way should a specific foe or a specific threat lure over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so obviously different Earths should age the same. Different multiverses age different. Okay. So when time froze, all the Earths from Christ and Infinite Earths, right? They froze. The multiverses kind of all got embedded as we're expanding our horizon. So it's like, there are different planets in your solar system, making it your multiverse, right? You have all these planets. They come together to make your multiverse. You have all of these Earths that make your Earth multiverse. Now you have all these other multiverses that have their own planets, all of this shit. If that did not confuse you, then you must be stoned out of your mind. But that's DC right now. Different multiverses.
I mean, I don't know. Like I said, what DC's been doing is not perfect, but I think it's a step in the right direction. And I think this issue specifically, while it may not have been a total step in the right direction,
it was a step. It was a step away from Death Metal and a step into what they're doing next, which for that I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Do I like the new direction? No, and I've been saying it for months. I'm like, I am worried. I'm worried because I don't trust Joshua Williamson on a team book. I don't. I liked him as the Flash writer. I liked him doing his own thing with Batman and Superman, which wasn't necessarily a team book. It was more like X, Y, and Z, but
yeah.
A setting like this, I don't think Joshua Williamson is really geared to. I think this is much newer for him. So
and maybe by the end of it, he comes into his own with it, though.
Maybe.
And maybe
it's the first issue.
He's gotten some guidance from somebody like a Jeff Johns or somebody like a Scott Snyder that has done these sort of events before that can help him bring it back around.
I don't know. So the Omniverse, different multiverses. If it doesn't sell, it can go in this multiverse. Who cares?
Yeah.
But, hey, Bryce, you read this week. Let's move on.
You
read this week, right?
Yeah. No. Speaking of the universe and all that, we're going to be going into a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
I had a feeling you were going to talk about that later.
Which you told me earlier you weren't a huge fan of this issue.
Oh no, ripped huts. I'm sorry, they should be fat.
I was still entertained by it. I love the Vader inner monologue pages where he's remembering and and just thinking.
Oh, those are great. Those are great. But this is by Greg Pak and the artist is by Raphael Iancio.
Which, remind me, is that the same artist that's been on this book, or is this a different artist?
It's the same artist.
Okay.
I think he took a 3-issue break, but for the most part, he's been doing the work.
Okay, cool. Yeah. But basically, you see Vader thinking back on the events at the end of A New Hope with Luke and Obi-Wan, when Obi-Wan, got killed and everything else, and Vader's just kind of connecting the dots. At the same time, he is having a meeting. Him and Ochi, the Sith assassin from earlier in the run, are having a meeting with Boku the Hutt, which is a new character introduced in was it last issue of Darth Vader that Boku was introduced in?
He was introduced in issue 10 or 11.
Okay.
But I do want to address this question real quick before we continue with Vader. Sorry about the crazy question. Dude, we love questions. We love questions. So if you have a question, you guys, I implore you guys to ask us. We know what we're talking about. So New 52 New 52 basically wiped everything. So Flashpoint wiped everything away. Okay, what's up, Hidden Gem? But so Flashpoint, which launched New 52, completely wiped the DC universe and gave them a clean slate. So continuity started from them. Then that ended with the Darkseid War. Okay, and then after that we had DC Rebirth. So it's like, oh yeah, this is where we are, and this is what's next. This is how we're gonna rebirth it. This is how we're gonna get reborn. This is where we're going. That's how we're gonna bring back even more characters. Because New 52, you didn't really see everyone. So Rebirth was like
New 52 undid everything up to that point. Rebirth kind of undid New 52.
Right, because no one really liked New 52 up until they realized that there wasn't a concrete plan. So we're like, oh, we're going to use it to launch DC Rebirth and completely rebirth the universe, right? That is DC Comics, and we are going to have these different worlds come together, right? So that is why you had Doomsday Clock, which is making Watchmen canon in DC overall timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. Or it's migrating DC and Doomsday Clock, or DC and Watchmen. Okay, well, that was like the big thing. But Jeff Johns wasn't there to write it because he was doing Titans and he was doing everything else. So that was Rebirth. So then we were going to go into 5G. 5G didn't happen because DU got fired.
And then a pandemic happened.
Yeah. But like once we were out of Rebirth and it was like DC just wasn't putting Rebirth on, it's like, yeah, we're kind of in Rebirth, but we're able to tell our own narrative, which is great. That was when DC was great. During the Year of the Villain, that was fantastic. That was like DC at its best, in my opinion, with their continuity. Then Death Metal hit. DU got fired. Future State, Infinite Frontier. And Infinite Frontier is, we have all these multiverses, so everything is united. So let's tell you everything. Here's everything at once. Deal with it.
Which Infinite Frontier has done a very good job at the storytelling.
Yeah, that isn't part of continuity. Like, yeah, it's part of continuity, but it's like their own story. It's like their own self-isolated story that has nothing to do with the overall continuity, because the overall continuity project does not affect them like any other DC event continuity scheme has.
Exactly. Like, you can go into a comic shop one day a month, pick up a single DC title, that be all you're reading, and be fine at this point. Like, if you just want to read Nightwing, you can just read Nightwing. If you just want to read Batman, you can just read Batman.
Right. And if you really wanted to figure out what happened after Death Metal, you could just read this and you wouldn't have to give a shit about anything else.
Pretty much, yeah.
DC don't give a shit about anything else. They're like, writers, do your own thing. 5G, tell your own stories, lead over here to this possible future. So Future State is a possible future where the world could be. It's like a glimpse into, hey guys, this is where we can lead up.
Yeah.
Okay. Infinite Frontier is, oh yeah, this is us actually getting there. Can I bust a verse about the multiverse? Something. Yeah, I can do the ad-libs. If you want me to do the ad-libs? I can do ad-libs. Yeah. Okay, I'm done. Yeah, if I get it done.
Never do that again.
Oh
my gosh.
I hope nobody screen recorded that. Oh, if we get a thumbs down, I know why.
That just demonetized this video.
Oh my god.
If this channel ever gets monetized, you just demonetize this one.
I'm trying to think now. God damn it. But
yes, that's basically DC right now. Everything matters and nothing matters at the same time. And you can kind of just do whatever you want. You can kind of read whatever you want and just have fun with it.
Cool story. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so back to Darth Vader.
Oh yeah, that was a book.
They're basically having a meeting with Boku about tracking down Han Solo, because that's been the whole deal of War of the Bounty Hunters so far, and there's a War of the Bounty Hunters tie-in. And they're basically trying to find a way to get to God bless here. I'm gonna have to look at it real quick. They're basically trying to get to where they can find some information on Han Solo. And so they get to Z9 City 7, which is this droid repair center, essentially, where they're having where they know there's some information. While they're there, they get attacked by IG-88.
Yeah.
Love seeing IG-88 in this.
I mean, yeah, he's cool.
Always love seeing IG-88.
IG-88's like, he's like, yeah, I don't give a shit about anyone here. That was basically me. He just comes in looking like so badass. He literally has like a whole Godfather moment.
Pretty much. Like droid Scarface over here.
See, that's called an ad lib.
God bless. Looks like you're having a stroke. Yeah, so basically IG-88 comes out, attacks Vader, and they're both trying to cut each other's head off. Vader uses the Force and cuts IG-88's head off.
Yeah, cool story. IG-88 was very short-lived.
Very short-lived. But meanwhile, Boku, in true Hutt fashion, betrays Vader.
Yeah. Also, for some reason, he's ripped.
Probably my favorite page of a Star Wars book in a while.
Yeah, but for some reason, this guy is ripped. This Hutt is ripped.
Hey, I mean, listen, Star Wars is all about all shapes and sizes.
I felt the coloring was very weak in this issue.
Really? I'd say I really liked it.
And Jason Ray Keith is a good friend. I've met him before. We talked sometimes.
But basically, there's like an underlying theme towards the end that Vader cannot be defeated. Boku recognizes that. IG-88 goes back to who hired him.
Yeah, by the way, this guy's the only Hutt who's ever had abs. I just want to say this guy's ripped.
Oh, he's jacked.
He's like Professor Xavier.
And we find out that IG-88 was hired by one of the Emperor's administrators to kill Vader. So there's a sort of conspiracy going on there, which is really interesting. This was definitely one of the weaker issues of Darth Vader, but I still really enjoyed it. This is the best Star Wars title coming out right now, hands down. This and Charles Soule's Star Wars run are not only the best Star Wars books, but some of the best books at Marvel overall.
I would say this was a very weak issue for the whole Star Wars run in retrospect, and I've been liking it. It's been fun.
I mean, not every issue is going to be perfect. I didn't think it was bad, but it was fun. It was fun.
I kind of want to give a little head nod to a book that came out this week that was also a dud, which is Amazing Spider-Man, which is, hey, let's wrap up our arc. Excuse me. And we're going to get a giant-sized chameleon conspiracy, which is going to wrap everything up similar to the other.
Another giant size.
Yeah, and I'm just like, no. Chris Claremont and Len Wein just rolled over, just looking down on you, bro. Go, Chris Claremont, no. But
Chris Claremont's still alive.
He's still alive, but Len Wein's like, yeah, I'm rolling over my grave with this one. IG-88. That kind of looks like Travis.
Oh my gosh.
If he's still here.
I'm so glad Nick Spencer's run's coming to an end, though.
I'm glad. Yeah, but he still has like a shit ton of more tie-ins, and he's like writing. I'm like, dude, give it
Sinister War.
Oh, I don't care anymore. I'm like, the hell is this? Is that IG-88?
Sorry about that. My house is right next to a main road, and we get a lot of motorcycles coming through here at night.
That was IGD, just cruising.
That was
in.
IGD.
But I kind of give a head nod to it. It wasn't that good. It was hey, every villain that we established already that we don't want to use in Sinister, we're going to a casino getting drunk and we're not using them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the chameleon is like stalling everything else. That's literally what it is. Is we need an arc to stall so we can get to this event. And that's this. And it's stupid.
Pretty much, which it starts next month, right?
Yeah.
So
stupid. It's so stupid. But anyway, this was a book that came out. Honestly, guys, I'm gonna sound so negative, but I want to get to the books. There were a lot of duds this week. There were a lot of books that I absolutely loved, and a lot of books that I'm just like, yeah, I'm out.
See, I have 2 more left to talk about that I thought were just phenomenal.
Okay, so let me talk about some. Okay, so I have a few books that to talk about. So I thought Batman Reptilian, which is it's a new Batman book because we're doing that now. It's under the Black Label. It's by Garth Ennis and Liam Sharp. This is a very horror type book. It's painted, which means that Liam Sharp really took his time. There's a forward to Dylan, to Steve Dylan. So that was very cool to see, you know, R.I.P. But this book is telling you, this is establishing the world in Gotham that we're setting up, and the characters are going to be involved. And then the big boom, which is like, this is what we're doing. This is what you need to worry about at the end, which is going to launch a plot. So this was very necessary setup, in my opinion. It is a so this guy got discharged, right, from his court case, right, and his name is Edgar Luciario, and I guess he's gonna be the Reptilian. But you get like a lot of psychedelic moments, and it's very hard to read because the coloring is so dim, which makes me like say, okay, this is gonna read in more of like a Batman Damned or like Wonder Woman Dead Earth format, where it's gonna be bigger because they're gonna do it. They're gonna oversize. They do it with all their Black Labels.
Which when that book comes out in trade or oversized hardcover or whatever, I'll probably grab it.
And I'm gonna grab it then because like it'll be more laid out then. The art is absolutely stunning, but the story was very much a setup. Yeah, it was cool. I'm excited to see more because, you know, we don't really get Batman drawn this way and written this way. There are a lot of like different horror moments in here dealing with what's next. So this is more like, yeah, these are the characters and this is what we're doing next. But it was very hard. It was a very difficult read. So you definitely have to take your time flipping through these pages. I'm gonna stay on it just so I could stay informed. I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. I feel like Batman is definitely going more horror in some of these titles coming up, like between this and I have a feeling James Tynion's Fear State.
I feel like people were very overhyped about the art, which the art's great, but I don't think the story was as there as the art was. I think it's very art dependent, but because the art was so dark, there was some sort of misconnect. Which maybe when it comes out in trade, it's going to read a lot better. You know, Department of Truth was the same way. A lot of these kind of horror books are the same way. Batman Damned was the same exact way.
Something is killing the children.
Harley Quinn the Birds of Prey was the same way. So I think that I'm not going to say this book is garbage. I'm not going to say that. I'm just saying that this first issue was, this is what we're dealing with. This is the character, this is the world, and this is what's actually going to happen. That was like the sequence. But what's actually going to happen is going to take place in the series. So that's really it. It was good. It was fine. I guess it was in the middle. It was in the middle. Like I didn't hate it.
It's just kind of a book that, I mean, where it is so much setup, it's kind of hard to have an opinion on setup issues.
Yeah, because I don't know what's gonna happen next. It's like based off what happens next, I'll have a better feeling for how to think about this first issue. Does the premise look cool? Yeah, it looks cool. But you know, Garth Ennis, this is like Garth Ennis back writing in the Big Two. And Garth Ennis is a very trusted writer. So I think that he could get, I don't know. I'm very curious to see where this book is going to go. I'm very curious. For sure. Which is, I'm saying on it because the creative team. And Liam Sharp freaking painted his butt off. Liam Sharp painted his butt off. So if you guys want your next Batman Damned, this is the book for you. You want it. And then Detective Comics, Mr. Worth is very pissed off at Batman or Bruce Wayne Batman is wanted. Bruce Wayne is wanted. Batman's on Mr. Worst's hit list, and he attacks the mayor's office. And it was drawn by Victor Bogdanovich. Drawn by Victor Bogdanovich. Story is by Markier Tamaki. This was and Huntress is there too, kind of playing sidekick, and kind of like Batman is like not trying to let her be involved, but she's being involved, and they need to go find Lady Clayface. And they can only operate at dark because Batman A is broke, B doesn't want to pay for gas money, and C is wanted.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm finding a lot of holes in this writing. It's definitely deep. Mayor Nakano is definitely overstepping, I think, the role of every single mayor I've ever seen in a Batman book. Except for when Penguin was mayor, because I think that was kind of cool. But
yeah,
all the other mayors was just like, yeah, Batman, do your thing. Mayor Nakano's like, I hate you both now.
Which you can tell everything Gotham-centric is going towards the magistrate.
Yeah. And I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. I haven't read that issue of Detective yet. I've not heard very good things about it, but I also didn't hear fantastic things about 1037, and I enjoyed it.
I don't know. This was very filler. This was the worst one of the run.
Which hopefully gets better. I would hate to drop a title that started out as good as...
Oh, my gosh. It started out great. Oh, Steve, you're back, bro.
Now.
You missed you know what, Steve? This is what you missed. We literally talked about the book behind us and DC continuity. So if you want to know more, go back and check that out. Big shout out to everybody in the live chat. Like we said, if you have a question for us, like
yeah, feel free to
like
ask
Eric did,
always.
like Jack did. Let us know, right? If you guys read anything you want us to talk about, let us know. Hit the thumbs up, drop a comment. Yeah, exactly.
A book that started out great, has been great, hasn't really had a weak issue so far in this new run.
Are we talking about Action Comics?
Action Comics.
Yeah, I thought I knew you were going to talk about Action Comics, and then I'll piggyback with Superman right after.
There you go. Which is another book I haven't read yet. I still have a little bit of reading to do. But nonetheless, Action Comics has definitely been the superior title.
Yes. Written by our very good friend of the channel, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
Yeah.
Art by Daniel Simperi.
Which has been phenomenal. And
right.
You mentioned Aquaman earlier being MIA. Aquaman has actually plays a decent part in this issue and has been the past couple issues.
Should have seen Brandon. I did the ad-libs. I can do them again.
Oh my gosh.
Bobby, what else should I rhyme about? What else should I bust around about Bobby? Anyway, Action Comics. Don't look at me like that. Let's talk about comic books and wait for Bobby.
Basically, we see the aftermath of the refugee girl that came from Warworld. And we get a little more insight on her. We find out her name and that she has developed powers of sorts. And we get a really cool Lois Lane moment in this, that she is the one to be able to connect with her in a way that Clark couldn't.
Right.
Which is really, just something special.
Right.
Then we flash to Atlantis and we get some Vulko, which I just finished reading Jeff Johns' Aquaman run recently. If you know anything about that, you know that I now hate Vulko. And so seeing him, I didn't know how to feel.
You were very triggered, I bet.
I was very conflicted. But basically, they get that, they have that object that's from Warworld. I can't remember what it's called, but it basically transforms Merrick, who's an Atlantean, into this, blob creature.
Right.
I don't even know what to call it.
This big monster.
Yeah, and then basically he starts wreaking havoc. Meanwhile, Clark and John are trying to make sense of everything with Mongol and Warworld and the invasion back at the fortress.
Right.
And so eventually, Clark goes and meets the best detective he's ever known, Batman.
Yeah, because he wants to. So what he wants to do is he wants to go to Warworld to investigate what's going on
with the League,
with the Justice League. But the Justice League is being bendezed and tortured and dealing with Naomi taking the spotlight. Oh my gosh, no one cares. Who gives a shit? But Justice League came out this week, and I didn't pick it up.
I haven't picked it up the past couple.
High five, Bryce. I didn't pick it up. Yay! Oh wait,
Oh, yep. No, there we go.
Yeah, come on. No.
God, we're stupid. But yeah, basically, Batman already knows everything that's going on.
Yeah, but I was like, yeah.
Because he's Batman.
Yeah, he's like.
And so Superman then gets a call from Aquaman to come help him. And then we see Aquaman basically fighting Godzilla, which I thought was awesome. It's like a water Godzilla. Superman's able to take him down, but he learns some things about how he is part of Mongol's plan, which we don't know a whole lot about yet, but
right. And it's a new Mongol too. So this
is a new Mongol.
So every time right, the Mongol dies, he's succeeded by the person who kills him, right? So his son essentially will kill him and take the reins of Mongols. We have a new Mongol. So Superman doesn't know.
But basically they take down this Godzilla-like monster, and eventually Steve Trevor shows up on behalf of the U.S. government.
I like seeing this.
I did too. But they're trying to take that object from Atlantis for the U.S. government. And him and Aquaman butt heads a little bit.
Which I would love to see in an Aquaman book if DC ever did it.
Right. God bless. I would read the crap out of that thing. But basically what it's setting up at this point is...
You cannot tell me that you're going to have Naomi be the star of the Justice League without having Hal Jordan and Aquaman have their own series.
Yep. I don't know. I was talking about this with my friend the other day. There is so much I would do if I could be a DC, if I could be part of DC editorial for a day.
I would give Naomi another 300 seasons before she ever sets foot in the Justice League as the star character sassing Batman.
I would give Hal Jordan his own book. I would give Aquaman his own book. What was it I said? I would like to see an Elseworlds story with Dick
Grayson. I would like Roy Harper to come back in his own miniseries rather than just say, hey, you're the Black Lantern. Well, where the fuck did you go? You just went to the coffee shop and got powers.
Yeah. I wish he would have at least been in like Teen Titans Academy or something for a little bit. Just so he was somewhere.
This is stupid, though. For those of you who don't speak that language, it's Spanish. It's stupid for Spanish. It means stupid in Spanish. Es estúpido.
Yo hablo español. No estoy bueno y no estoy malo.
Gracias. Oh my God. So, yeah.
But yeah, basically at the end, it teases like, what? Oh man. But basically it teases that there's going to be a battle between Atlantis and the American government, which is really cool. There's also a Midnighter backup story by our friends Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad,
which is enjoyable. Art by Oming.
Yeah, I thought this was one of the I'm not a fan of Midnighter. Nothing against Becky and Michael, of course. I'm sure they're telling a great story. I just don't care about Midnighter.
Oh, I read it. It was
one
great.
Of the more enjoyable backup stories.
Yeah, dude, they're great, guys. I'm telling you guys. But
yeah, Action Comics.
See, I would not read a Superman Prime book because that is a character I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about Superboy Prime. I'm like, you got to introduce him.
I'm going to pitch this idea to you that I had, okay? DC's doing these Elseworlds books now again.
Superboy Prime would be cool there.
Give me a 6-issue miniseries of Dick Grayson as the Green Lantern. Because if you remember, he was one of the front runners for Abin Sur's reign.
Tell Atlantis to chill. You know what? I actually want to see more Atlantis, so I will just say them keep pushing their buttons, please. I just want to see more Aquaman.
Please.
That's what I have to go to get Aquaman.
I mean, hey, like just give us Aquaman.
Yeah.
But yeah, Action Comics, fantastic book. If you're gonna read any Superman book, now I could be saying something different when Tom Taylor's book starts. I could be saying that that's the best Superman book coming out. But as of right now, it's Action Comics.
Action Comics is the best. That is so great. The only run that I could say is right up there is Peter Tomasi, but it's not even. I don't even think it's even close. What PKJ is doing, it's just so fantastic.
Action Comics is honestly one of DC's best books.
Right.
It's probably a top 5 for me.
Superman 32 was the best issue of the series so far. It's by oh my gosh, Philip Kennedy Johnson. He's going to kill me later when he sees that.
Daniel Warren Johnson.
Shut up. It's two Johnsons.
Well, hope you guys enjoyed that last interview with Philip Kennedy Johnson. That's going to be the last on this channel.
Oh, shut the fuck up, Bryce. This is the artist by Scott Godolewski. I know I butchered that, and I'm Jewish, so I say that every show. But this is very much another love letter to John.
You're Jewish?
Oh, you couldn't tell? What was your first clue? I'm Jewish. Jewish. I'm very Jewish. But
oh my gosh.
So we have been on this other world dealing with this other race, okay? And this is up to soup. So what this story is doing, Action Comics is where Philip Kennedy Johnson can explore the world of Superman that he wants to tell with Mongol and dealing with Warworld and Superman being out there.
Yeah.
The Superman title is paving the way for Tom Taylor to take over the book with John, because as we all know, the focus will be on John Kent. Okay, so that's what we're doing, and this is very much giving John the confidence and experience to be able to make the hard calls and to be able to save a race from extinction. That's what we're dealing. The alien group is suffering that extinction level event, and it is up to John to make those hard calls. While Clark sits in the back, all the same people. So at the end, it's like this huge confident booster, and they have this great moment. The art in this was phenomenal. It has been much better than it has been in the past. But and then they all share this moment with John of how proud I am of how proud they are of him. This is Philip Kennedy Johnson's farewell to John right now. It is his farewell to the Superman title, not Action Comics. He's still writing Superman.
Which John's still probably going to be a big
John,
part of
yeah, but this is very much paving the way for John to explore and mature while Superman's going to be on Warworld dealing with that. Okay, so Superman is leading into where he was with Future State on Warworld, which is great.
Yeah,
okay,
for sure.
And we get a lot of good moments. So this was great. This is a very heartfelt issue, and I really appreciated it. It was fantastic.
You got me really excited to check that issue out now. The past couple have been okay. I haven't been as excited to read the Superman title, but
it was a love letter to his son. It was a love letter from Clark to his son. That's what it was. And you saw the growth and progression. So this is a great balance of storytelling and also appreciation and growth for a character that really hasn't gotten a lot of growth and appreciation in his whole timeline. So
yeah.
Philip is doing a lot of great things for John, and that is only going to be continued by Tom Taylor, who is just an expert at character studies. I was very skeptical about it, but I'm like 100% on board.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to be picking up that first issue, if nothing else. Hopefully it's not a $4.99 book, though, because I've heard there's not even a backup story.
Right. Oh, my God. They've been all $4.99 this week. DC's been raising their prices, so I think they are going to be $4.99. But...
Well, funny thing, though, the best book at DC this week, in my opinion, was a $3.99 book.
Oh, it was Robin. But I want to talk about Fantastic Four Life Story number 2 by Mark Russell, art by Sean Izakaze. This book sucked. This book sucked. So Reed Richards is very Dr. Doom, not Dr. Doom. He's very Galactus obsessed from the first issue. That was also a dud. But we see Dr. Doom getting introduced in the 70s? The fuck?
Yep.
Wait, did you read this?
No.
But Dr. Doom got introduced through Stark Industries. He built costumes for him and Reed. But Reed was mentoring like a young Lex Luthor, but it's Dr. Doom. Oh, this book was so stupid, bro. And so then they go to this meeting, like this world meet. There's a world United Nations meeting, and Sue goes, not Reed, because he turned him down, of course.
Well, because Reed's kind of a douchebag.
You had Namor. You had Reed didn't tell Sue about it, so she freaking divorced him after like Dr. Doom showed up, which led to Namor sliding in, which is actually like a lot of this shit happened in the 60s, which was like everything they didn't tell. So
to be fair, Fantastic Four in the 60s, like you would have needed the 60s Part 1 and the 60s Part 2 for the Fantastic Four.
This was so stupid. This was so stupid. But still, like Doctor Doom is not really playing a big role. I would say Black Panther and Namor had bigger roles than Doctor Doom.
Does that mean what I
When
does
is-
EVS stand for
who?
what I think it stands for?
What's up, Jay? EVS.
Does that stand for Ethan Van Sciver? Because if so, that's hilarious. And honestly, like,
I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Ethan Van Sciver will never be on the show. But
Ethan Van Sciver, man, talented artist, but
shitty person.
well, I mean, I'll call him opinionated. He makes Ryan look like he doesn't give a crap about anything.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, so they don't understand. Reed is so obsessed with Galactus because of what traumatized him in the previous issue, which this is gonna be the Galactus show. Just Doctor Doom was in this issue. Barely. So as he's mentoring Doctor Doom's like, yeah, you're so obsessed. I'm just gonna go behind your back. I'm gonna make us both costumes, but I'm gonna use this one. And we never really got to see his powers until he attacks the United Nations. Like, yeah, I have an idea. I'm gonna go attack the United Nations. Because now I'm Doctor Doom. That we see Black Panther in like Marvel Civil War-esque, like the movie, standing in front. Of course, it wasn't his dad, it was him. And then Doom shows up and attacks the place, which leads to the fight that Sue had to use Captain America's shield to knock him out, and then she divorces Reed because she didn't tell him about the event. And then Ethan Van Sciver's human sunbeam. What? I mean, yeah, he's like Pacey White. He gets burned every time he steps in the sun. But so Reed is butthurt because he got divorced, and we see Galactus is now coming to Earth, which we also got to tease that Galactus destroyed the Skrulls, which that didn't freaking happen. He just didn't want to use the Skrulls in there. Just when he's in, I'm just like, this is so stupid. And I'm just like, yeah. And Sue and Namor smash, and Namor does a freaking Namor move, and then this issue sucked. I'm out.
What is with all the sex this week? It's like
superheroes can be horny. This is not DC Comics.
heroes don't do that.
Yeah, they do. Heroes fuck, dude. Come on now. Oh my gosh, like who isn't horny about Namor being shirtless all the time and Oma and fighting Dr. Doom? Like, come on now, Sue. But yeah. Exactly. Sex sells. And especially
sex sells babies.
Sex sells babies, yeah. But this book sucked. This book really sucked. I was so disappointed. It's not being handled properly. It's like a mess. What they want to focus on, they're not. It's like we're getting all these pages of exposition and so little what the story's actually doing, and the pacing is so bad. It's what they're doing with it. I'm out.
Yeah, why can't Dan Slott write this? He's been writing everything else FF up to this point.
Why couldn't Mark Wade write this? Why couldn't
Mark Wade? Yeah.
Write this? Why couldn't who else could be a very talented person?
I'd be cool with Zdarsky doing the whole life story.
Well, Zdarsky could have freaking done it. Al Ewing probably could have done it, even though he's doing everything else right now. Of course, I'm naming huge names, but
the names are huge for a reason.
Hickman could have written it. Hell, Donny Cates could have freaking written it. Hey, exactly. No, wait. Oh. That just crossed my mind. You know who else could have who am I thinking of that could have also written this? Jason Aaron, I think could have handled this very well. I think Jason Aaron could have done a great job. I think even though he hasn't been doing such a great job, I would have liked to see him write it. I would have loved to see Mark Wade write it, which would be my number one option. Who wrote FF before, wrote one of the better runs of FF.
Wasn't his run right after Hickman's?
No, it was before. It was 2000. It was in 2000 to 2002.
Okay.
It was great. And then who else could have freaking written this? Jerry Dugan, I think, would have had a lot to say on this. I think Yeah, I think Kieran Gillen could have
Yeah.
written a good story with this.
Honestly,
But-
they're giving Jed
Anyone
McKay
but
a
Mark
lot of work.
Russell. Come on. Jed
They're
McKay could have written it.
Yeah.
I don't know about Jed McKay. I don't know. Maybe.
I'm just saying they're giving him a lot of work. Like, it would have made a little bit more sense than Mark Russell.
But Mark Russell, I'm like, you're not veteran enough. But blah. Anyway, you want to talk about
My
someone?
pick of the week, actually. This is my pick of the week so far. Yeah, Robin. If you weren't a fan of Joshua Williamson and Infinite Frontier, read Robin.
Oh, this was much better. This was better. I almost forgot that they were the same people.
This was fantastic. And honestly, don't let the cover fool you. That barely happens in this issue.
Oh, what?
Damien versus Connor Hawk. Like, it probably happens on a page.
It happens. Well, he gets his ass kicked.
Well, yeah. No, I mean, that's... But basically... This entire thing is Damien trying to learn to make friends and him trying to be like him trying to hang out at a party.
Right. Who's the creative team?
Oh yeah, Joshua Williamson and Gleb Melenkov with Luis Guerrero doing the colors.
I always like to say the creative team.
For sure. Sometimes I just get a little ahead of myself sometimes.
Yeah, bro. It's all good.
But yeah, Damien's just him and Ravager are kind of hanging out. Ravager's trying to teach him how to be more human, I guess, because I mean he was raised by the League of Assassins. And you get some moments between him and Flatline. I'm definitely thinking something's gonna happen with them two at some point.
Right.
But basically Damien does this cool knife trick. Everybody's freaking out. And then everybody starts talking about Batman. Because, of course, Batman's going to come up, and that makes Damien uncomfortable. And he goes off to be by himself. But instead, he runs into Connor Hawk, who they're saying is his biggest competition on this island. Connor Hawk, if you don't know, is the son of Oliver Queen, a.k.a. Green Arrow.
Right.
And that is a major part of this issue. Basically, Damien wants to fight at first. Hawk's like, look, I'm not trying to fight. The fighting's over. I'm done.
Right.
And then they basically start talking about each other's dads, just kind of being like, hey, maybe we're more alike than we realize.
Yeah, and then the people the League of Shadows show up.
And they're basically trying to tell Hawk, like, stay away from this dude. He's a traitor. And so they do end up fighting. Damien gets his butt kicked, which the art style in this and the flow, it's very fast-paced, very upbeat, and I love it.
This was a very quick read.
Very.
This was a very quick read, which I didn't like.
Huh?
I love this book. Yeah. I didn't like how fast it was. I was like, wow.
Well, I mean, it's a page-turner, which shows a great book. Like, if you can take your time, like you feel like you're taking your time, but it's over before you know it. That's a great book, in my opinion.
I liked all of Damien when every time he addressed Batman, he kept saying Pennyworth. Or I think he said Pennyworth more times. He was referring to Alfred more times as like his father figure than he was to Batman, which I thought was very thoughtful. And for Damien, I was like, that can really like grow his character. Because like, what if like when he dies, he sees
Alfred. Like, Alfred has been kind of his conscience throughout this whole thing. It's not.
But what if like this book? What if this book brings Alfred back?
I don't know if it could be this book, but I mean, I'd be open to it.
But with the Lazarus Pit, right? It can lead into something, maybe. I mean, the last page is like, his grandfather, but the other grandfather that we didn't want. I mean. The last page is Ra's al Ghul coming in, which is one of my favorite DC characters.
Damien gets thrown off a cliff. He gets rescued by what we think is Batman until we turn the page and it's Ra's al Ghul.
Which Batman would hate.
But it's a cool reveal for us. Great reveal for us.
Right, I liked it. I liked that reveal. And I liked how agey he was. He was like living that Luke Skywalker life in The Last Jedi.
Which is funny considering how much, like, I don't know, it kind of looks like stuff's taking a toll on him.
Right.
Which when was the last time we saw Ra's al Ghul in continuity?
Batman and the Outsiders.
Fair enough.
Come on, bro. Do you read comics? No kidding.
I do read comics, just not like I am. I haven't like I am now.
So, I mean, this was a great book. It's fantastic. So you said this was your pick of the week, right?
Yeah.
I would say right now mine is Sword. I would have to give mine to Sword right now.
Sword. Okay, so I have
Sword or Action Comics. I have it's like between Sword and Action Comics for my picks of the week right now.
Yeah. So basically, if I had to say, like, hey, these were the books this week. Robin and Sword are right there, like they're tied. Action Comics, of course, something like Stray Dogs, which I'm not talking about tonight, and then probably Way of X.
And I haven't read Something is Killing Children or Game of Life, some of the other books.
I still need to catch up on Volume 3 for Something is Killing the Children.
I'm like sneezing.
So I am very much a few issues behind, but I plan on picking up the trade next week because it is a super light week next week.
Exactly, dude. Next week I have 13 books. This week I had 26.
Dude, I had 13 this week. I'm pretty sure I have 5 next week.
Yeah, I have 13. But anyway, house cleaning on Monday. Ryan and I will be doing Hall of Fame, Hall of Shame with Chad. Topic is TBA. We will to be announced too. So we will be announcing that.
Oh, I think it's the TVA. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. And then other than that, Tag Team Thursday, I don't know. I'm gonna have John Beatty on for Tag Team Thursday next Thursday, which is gonna be fantastic. So get your Secret Wars ready, y'all. And then after that, yeah.
I've seen you sneeze, bro.
Thank you, Bobby. No one else said bless you.
Oh, I did. I didn't even see you sneeze.
Yeah, I don't care. And then John Romita Jr. will be on the show July 19th, which is going to be...
How about that?
No, July 21st. I have surgery on the 19th, July 21st. So, yeah, that's going to be really cool, you guys. Other than that, just stay tuned for more content coming your way. I'm super excited for everything. Of course, Bryce, thank you for joining me. Chat, thank you for being here. If you're catching the replay and you made it this far, big thumbs up to you guys. Very well deserved. All right. Have a great rest of your Friday, guys. We will see you guys at 8 p.m. Eastern Time every Friday night to start the show.
Awesome. See you guys. Have a good night.